All right, I'm Nick Bond here. I'm here with Wade Harris, sorry, of the Raleigh Firebirds. He's Director of Player Development, as well as Assistant GM, Managing Partner, as well as a partial owner. Quite the title there.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking your time to interview with me today. Just have a few questions for you, and we'll start off. Of course, before I start, for privacy reasons, I do have, this is being recorded, and I do have permission to share this.
That is correct.
Awesome. Alrighty. So first start off, what background before the Firebirds did you have in the sports management industry?
Well, my background really comes from the fitness industry. I started in the fitness industry in 1985, really when I was a senior in college. I continued to work in the fitness industry and began working with basketball players in terms of fitness conditioning and skill training. And then over time, it just sort of materialized into this great opportunity to be a part of the Firebirds professional men's basketball team.
Right. And talking more about that opportunity, what led you to bring a professional basketball team here to Raleigh?
Well, a couple of things. One, there was no professional basketball team at this level that people could have an opportunity to go out and enjoy a great game and not break their bank account. Right. Going to see Duke State, Carolinas, usually those tickets aren't not that accessible, nor are they that inexpensive. And certainly if they want to go to Charlotte to see the Hornets play, we're talking even more money. Right. And so there's a high demand for basketball in this area. This is a great basketball community, and there was nothing like this. So I felt like it was the perfect timing to bring basketball to the Raleigh community.
Of course. As well as when getting in this, it's never cheap starting up any kind of professional franchise to begin with. What steps did you guys have to take to get the funds to be able to fund a team to be a professional basketball team here in Raleigh?
Well, we have a couple partners who have invested in the future of the team, and then we've also just really worked hard on our ticket sales process. That is like the most important part, the sponsorship and ticket sales. But individual ticket sales is really, where we hang our hats and we feel like we're going out and meeting and greeting people. We're meeting our fans. We're putting the tickets in their hands, making a fair exchange. And I just think that, we're going to fund our business through ticket sales so that, when it's all said and done, we don't have a huge list of people that we owe a lot of money to.
Right, of course. So why, for some that don't know, the Basketball League is the league that you guys are in this year, formerly known as the North American Premier Basketball League.
Yes.
Last year. Why did you choose to bid for a team in this league specifically?
Well, I really like what the league stood for and continues to stand for. One is heavily involved in the community, and to have a team in this league, you really have to be a community activist or someone that's heavily involved in trying to impact your community in a positive way. And then also the market of players that this league targeted, really fit the kind of players that I like to work with and try to help get a professional playing job, because I think that a lot of agents and scouts and people that help basketball players, they look for the cream of the crop, the best players available, which is easy. It's like a low-hanging fruit. But for me, I always like working with those players who having a hard time getting a professional playing job. Maybe it was because of exposure, or maybe it was just because of skill development or overall conditioning. And to be able to help develop a player like that and then turn it into a professional athlete, was really inspiring and challenging for me. And this league, because it's kind of like double-A baseball, right, if you were to make a comparison. So that makes it a development league, and that's really what I'm all about, is really trying to help young men to make a difference in their lives, and this is a great way for us to do that.
Awesome. Going back to the community aspect, the Raleigh Firebirds have partnered with many people in the community. It seems like almost every day I'm seeing something, which is amazing. But the main focus is the STEM programs. And why STEM particularly? Why was that chosen to be the main head?
Well, as you probably know, most professional sporting teams have some type of community platform. It usually is something like anti-bullying, or staying off drugs, or don't drop out of school. All great messages. We're not against those messages, but we wanted to stand for something that we thought could make an impact and that was quantifiable, that we could literally look back over the course of 3 years and see what impact this has on our community. So through partnering with NC State, Science House, and Wake Tech, and Wake County Public Schools, companies like Zantech, who is a STEM company that does after-school programs and track-out programs for kids, We feel like we're able to provide something that is already a big buzz in our community, and that is the idea of a STEM education for our students. Wake County is working very hard to inspire our next generation to go into those areas, and we know that the jobs that are available in this community really come from that STEM community. And there's really nothing that you can do almost today that doesn't in some way encompass, STEM. So, we felt like it was a good platform. We think there's a lot of companies in this area that are STEM companies that would support something like this, from your pharmaceutical companies to your technology companies, and so forth. So that's why we thought STEM, because it was something that we could not only impact the community with, but that's quantifiable. And we could look at what are the measurable results that we produce.
Right. Going into your position as the Director of Player Development as well as Assistant GM, what duties does that entail for you?
All right, so in terms of being the Director of Player Development, that really encompasses every aspect of, like I always say, making sure that a player is ready, prepared to be that product that we want to put on the floor. That's from the strength and conditioning aspect, from nutrition, skill development, making sure that they understand about proper rest, how to take care of their bodies as a professional athlete, how to project the right image in the community, and we're working on all of those things with our athletes, because while we want to win, but we want to win a certain way. It's kind of like in the days where I used to coach at the Y, and they say it's not whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game.
Right.
Well, we want to win, and we want to play the game right. And so in developing our players, we want to not only develop them into great players, but we want to continue to be a part of their development into becoming young men that can then come back into this community and be an impact for this community.
Awesome. Again, going into more of that, what in those jobs, what skills are necessary to be successful? And kind of follow-up question, were these skills that you've always had in you, or did you have development in this new step that you've taken with the Firebirds?
Well, I mean, some of them are skills, and some of them are just sort of more character traits, I think. And so, I have a big passion for helping and making a difference. I always wanted to find a way to do that in an area that I also have passion in, which is I have a great passion for the game of basketball. I have a great passion for fitness. So that part of my job is really easy when it comes to the Firebirds, because I love every day having a chance to work with these players and see them go from being in really terrible condition and seeing how they develop over time. And then I developed some skills over time, with my fitness business, my personal training business. That skill in marketing, sales, promotions, which is really important. If you want to have a successful team, you really have to market it properly, you have to promote it well, which means, you have to be willing to get on the telephone in today's world where everything is so high tech. People want to send an email, they want to send a message on Facebook or Instagram, and very few want to get on that telephone and talk to people or go out face to face and do sort of some of the old fashioned ways, what I call bootstrap marketing. Right. And so, I think that we're able to combine, the great things about now, with technology and promoting our team, but also some of the old fashioned ways of just, meeting people face to face, belly to belly, shaking hands. And, I think that when this season starts, our fans will be people that we know. Right. I mean, it's like we would have met with them, we would have talked to them. It's not like they're just going to all go online and buy their tickets and we're not going to know who they are. Yeah. We're really working to develop a solid relationship. And so my passion for developing good relationships in the community is something that serves me really well. And over time, being here since 1989 in this Raleigh community, I've obviously met a lot of people. I've come in contact with a lot of people that love the sport of basketball, but also a lot of people that just love helping and making a difference. And so these organizations that we're partnering with, they get a chance to share their message through basketball as a great medium to do that.
Right. That's awesome. So, what have been some of the biggest successes that you've had over your time in here in Raleigh?
Well, some of my personal biggest successes have been really in my fitness business, right, and being able to inspire what I might call the next generation of fitness trainers. Who are now maybe where I was 20 years ago or 25 years ago when I started this business. And so I have some successes of people that come through my business that have learned the fitness industry from me and my staff, that have gone on to become managers and also owners of their own personal training business, which I think is huge. From the basketball standpoint, I've taken young basketball players that went to small schools that had very little exposure and taking them as close to the NBA as I think you can get, and that is playing in the NBA G League. I've had players play in the G League, play in Canada, players playing overseas. And when I first started, I don't think I ever imagined that that was something that was even possible.
Right.
But possibilities come out of effort. And so, some of those possibilities we created by working hard.
Right. Excellent. With this new position with the Firebirds, what kind of challenges do you face day to day, especially with an inaugural season, new league? What kind of challenges come with that?
Well, there's challenges every day. We're working to develop the team. That's the end result, that product that we put on the floor. So every day we're reviewing film of guys that have an interest in playing for us, but also guys that we go out and look for. We want to put together a certain kind of team, so we're being really particular about the players that we choose, the kind of people that they are. Finding the right mix between good people and good players is a huge challenge in today's world because things are a lot different now than they were probably 15 or 20 years ago. And so that is a challenge, finding that balance. It's challenging to make sure that we have the ticket sales that we need because we have people that even are writing a check to sponsor others to go to games.
Right.
So maybe we have the money that we're collecting, but I also want to make sure we have people in those stands and not just collecting the money. And then we also don't want to go through the community and give out a lot of tickets for free. And then we'll have tons of people in the stands, but we'll have no money.
Right.
And that doesn't work either. Right. So it's all a balancing act. As a fitness professional and owning my own fitness business, we do get some opportunities to cross-promote our fitness business as well as the Firebirds. Basketball is a fitness sport, so it's pretty easy. A lot of fitness people love the sport of basketball and vice versa. Basketball fans love to work out and be in shape. So that has been a lot of fun to do that part, but it's still challenging sometimes to make sure that there's still that separation. Right. And that when I'm promoting the Firebirds, I'm really promoting the Firebirds, and when I'm promoting my personal training business, that I'm spending that time promoting the personal training business.
Of course. Going into talking about looking at players, as director of player development, what do you look for in a player, especially trying to create the culture for the Raleigh Firebirds?
All right, so first, it really is the kind of person that they are that we look for. I mean, they have to be able to play the sport that we love and that we're trying to build a great team. But I don't want a team of great players that are overly arrogant. They're jerks to fans and don't have the time to stop and sign an autograph for a kid. That will walk by a piece of paper and not pick it up. And I know that seems like a very small thing, but to me, there's character in little things. So we're looking for players that really pay attention to detail, that take care of their bodies, their minds, that love the community, and if they are a family, that love their family, because the Firebirds is going to be a huge family. So if we have players that aren't about family, then they're not going to fit into what we're trying to accomplish.
Right.
And then we want skilled players. We want players that can play fast. I don't want to say that we want fast players that are strong, can jump high, but we want players that can play at a really high pace, a fast pace, that can think the game very quick because the game is going to move very rapidly at this level. Right. That can overcome adversity and not let it weigh heavily to the point where it affects their performance. So we're placing them under some pretty adverse circumstances so that we can see how they respond to those situations. We're fortunate to have a really great coach, and Coach Robert Brickey, who makes that part a little easier for me. And I'm learning a lot from him as well as just trying to be a great support system for him and provide him with a team that he can then do the X's and O's and create that success that we're looking for.
Right. Just a few more questions here. Going into Duke legend, Robert Brickey.
Yeah.
When he was hired, it seemed like a perfect fit for the culture I was trying to build. What does he bring, or what has he brought so far, and what will he continue to bring to keep growing this program and this organization?
Well, Coach Brickey is a very strong person. He's a good man in general, so that helps in terms of what we're trying to accomplish. He has a lot of energy for this game and for helping young people. He played for Coach K, who's one of the greatest coaches to ever work the sidelines for basketball. And so for instance, when we're in a huddle and I listen to him talk, it's almost like I can feel like it's like our players are grandkids of Coach K, while
Right.
Coach Bricky is like a son to Coach K,
Right.
if you could think of it that way. So the legacy, I feel the Firebirds will have a chance to continue to build that legacy. And I'm also excited about, he said one day that this is one of the few times that all the fans that love basketball in the Triangle can all cheer for the same team. Because usually you either cheer for
Right.
Duke or State or Carolina or maybe Wake Forest or
Right.
one of the local teams. And so we can have all those fans now cheer for one team, which is something that he said a couple months ago. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
But he just brings a certain tenacity, a certain professionalism. Sets a high standard and has high expectations for the players, and I also have those same expectations, not only for the players but for myself. Try to make sure that I'm working at a high level, and he just brings a lot. Just the name Duke University. I mean, being a Wolfpack yourself, and I'm not going to talk about the team that I love so much here in the Triangle, but Duke basketball is legendary.
Right.
Coach K is legendary. Coach Bricky is well known by a lot of people in this area. I think he's going to be the premier coach for this league. I don't think that anyone will be close to him, which I think gives us a huge advantage when it comes to how we perform in this league.
Excellent. Going through, I know you're a very busy man. We were actually talking about it this past Wednesday. What does a typical day at work look like for you when you're working as the assistant GM and the director of player development?
Okay. Well, again, I'm really fortunate that I have a job that is fitness related, because in the way that I operate my business is very similar to the way you might operate a basketball team, professional team. So it's not like I have a job unrelated and I got to try to do two things that are completely opposite throughout the course of the day. So the basketball team is sort of interwoven itself within my personal training business and how I operate and function. So when I get here at 6 o'clock in the morning, I might have a regular client that I'm working with, just general population, want weight loss or general fitness. And while at the same time, I might be directing a couple of the basketball players because they do 6 a.m. workouts, 9 a.m. workouts, and then 4 p.m. And so, it's also great though, because our fan base starts to become a part of our client base
Right.
at Personal Training Fitness Center. So a lot of the people that have already bought season tickets are people who already work out here, and they know these players. Like, they don't just know their names, they know them intimately. I see them opening the door for the ladies, the players, and they might go get a towel for one of our clients, and that interaction between the two is really great. So I train from usually about 6 o'clock to usually noon, and then I spend the next 2.5 to 3 hours from 12 to about 3 out in the community, meeting and greeting people that have a high interest in being a part of this great dynamic team that we're bringing. And then I take a little break, and then about 4:30 I come back and begin training, not only the basketball players but my clients.
Right.
And then I intertwine some calls and some texts and emails out that people that I've met, just making sure we're constantly following up and building that foundation. We realize that the stronger the foundation that we build, the stronger the ultimate organization we can build. So this is a really important time that we spend the right amount of time building a good foundation for this organization to be successful for a long time.
Yeah.
And so then my day typically ends around 7:30. I got a couple horses I go and feed and clean stalls and get a chance to, debrief myself or sort of relax my mind and not worry about all the other stuff that I had to do that day, because when you're with horses, you kind of got to be in the moment.
Right.
Otherwise you can get kicked across the field or something. So I'm really focused on them and giving attention to them, which is really good for me. And then after that, have a chance to go home and just chill out with my family and then get ready for the next day.
Excellent. For someone who's young and up and coming into the sports management field, what advice would you have to give? And was this the same advice that you would wish you had when you gotten into the sports industry?
Yeah. Well, when I got into the fitness industry, I was given a lot of sound advice that serves me in the sports world, as in terms of this basketball industry. And the advice that I would give any person in sports management is first I always say follow or find your passion. Because when you are passionate about something, Like nobody can stop you from achieving what it is you want. A lot of people will go after something because of what they can make, how much money they can earn, and that's what they tend to gravitate toward. But eventually the money is not enough to keep you focused on the outcome that you want. And so, but if you have passion for it, and so I tell people that we're looking in this industry, similar to what I said to you when I came and talked to your class. We're going to put you to work in the areas that you love and that you want to grow and learn. I'm not going to have you, put a round peg in a square hole kind of thing. We want you to do the things that you love. And so find a thing that you love. Learn as much as you can about it. Surround yourself with the type of people that can help you achieve your goal, because it's next to impossible to do alone. Without some help and support. You're fortunate, hopefully, to have a good family supporting system, but then outside of that, you have to build and develop another support system that's going to help you achieve what you want. Eliminate the people in your circle or in your life that don't feed into the success that you want. People that are always talking negative and always trying to put you down and never believe in what you want to accomplish. Don't spend your time with those people. Spend your time with people that inspire you, that motivate you, that what they do is similar to what you want to do, because then you can follow those people. And if you have somebody that's really good to follow, it's so much easier than trying to do it on your own.
Final question: what kind of future do you see for the Raleigh Firebirds?
Well, we are going to play our first year at Southeast Raleigh High School. It is our hope that 2 of our 16 home games will get to play at Reynolds Coliseum. That is yet to be determined. You might have some influence in that, you and your team over there. But we'd like to see the team go from playing in a gym like Southeast Raleigh High School, which is a great facility, by the way. We're excited to partner with the school and Wake County to play there. We think it's going to be a really intimate environment. We're going to create a pro field in a more, less pro environment, and I think that's going to be great. But ultimately, we'd like to move to a larger facility, like maybe a Reynolds Coliseum or Dorton Arena. I think that this league is going to be continue to grow over time. So where we will be looking to have about 1,500 to 2,000 people at our games this year, I think that next year we'll be looking to be in a place where we could do maybe 2,000 to 3,000, right. And then maybe the third year we'd be looking around 3,000 to 4,500, and then from there the sky's the limit. But, we just want to make sure that we're growing consistently every year, and then some of the relationships that we create, we take great care of our fans and great care of our partners and our sponsors, so that it's a lot easier the next year. And people want to be a part of success, and so if we work hard and we achieve the level of success that I think we will, then every year I think it'll get a little bit easier and a little bit easier. And I want the Raleigh Firebirds name to be a household name here. I want when you say Raleigh Firebirds, I want people to know who that is. Like not say, well, who is that? But, oh yeah, I've heard of them. Or I went to see them play. Or I know one of the players on that team. And so, that's the future that I see. I think the future for the Firebirds is really bright. Similar to our logo. Right. It has a lot of energy and it's very exciting, and it's very eye-catching. I think that the team's going to be the same way. Our players are wonderful people. We're currently having bios done on all the players, and it's funny how once I get a chance to sit down and read some of the bios, like I learn more about the players every day, things that I didn't even know that was important to them. And I'm a really heartfelt sort of guy, so some of those things that I read are a little bit emotional to read, but it then gives me that drive more, that I really want to make sure that I can help this player achieve what he wants. When I look at his background, I look at what he's been through, look at the challenges that he's overcome in his life and how he never gave up, and now he has a chance to lace him up in his hometown, play professional basketball, and he paid for it, and have his family and friends come out and see him play. What better experience could you have than that?
Excellent. Again, here with Wade Harris of the Raleigh Firebirds. Thank you for your time.
It's my pleasure.
The Firebirds start their season in January.
That is correct.
Again, at Southeast Raleigh High School. Come out to home game. I think season tickets are still on sale, and
they are.
Individual tickets will be on sale when season schedule comes out.
Absolutely.
Thank you again, and
my pleasure.
enjoyed it. Yes.
Hey, great.